What's up, everybody? It's your girl AlleyBenz here, and we are unfortunately back with another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is episode 6 of season 10, so let's go ahead and get into it. So at the end of the last episode, it was Tisha and Nell sitting down at the coffee shop where Tisha was like,
I cannot be sitting here having this conversation with you disrespecting me when I'm in my 4 p.m. cocktail dress and I'm ready to go and get drinks, and this is a place that I do my PTA meetings with my children in, so I'm just not going to deal with you. I'm just going to up and leave.
She leaves, right? She comes back like immediately. Like, I think Tisha didn't even get out of the parking lot before production was like, no, come back, because this is not going back and forth for the rest of the season. Like, we still have to film part B after everybody realizes they didn't like y'all in part A. Y'all are gonna have to fix this, work this out. Tisha is like, I'm not gonna raise my voice and you're not gonna raise your voice at me. And Nell's like, okay, because I never raised my voice, but just like Tisha said earlier, you're entitled to your opinion. So Tisha's like, I'm tired of people disrespecting me in my marriage. This has been going on since the entire time we've been on the show. Editing proceeds to go and show several clips. I think it was about like 6 or 7 clips.
Tired of it. I'm just tired of it. So why you not wearing your ring? I know you're a mom, but you is not my wife. Almost as if y'all haven't slept with 20 women. I know several women you've been with. Hey, after me. Have you ever rented our apartment with Martell? If I had a secret, you think I'd tell you? Somebody took a picture of you in the bed and all this. They took a picture of me. I think that could have been anybody. Yes, I went to Atlanta. And yes, I went there with a friend. Me and Chris Fletcher.
Half of them was Martell. The other half was Wanda. So it's not everybody's coming after the marriage. Production made that clear. It's not everybody coming after the marriage. It's Martell and Wanda, Tisha's mother. Tisha then starts crying and it's just like, I'm so tired of people coming to me with this BS trying to say that my husband's cheating on me when I don't care because I'm not leaving him. She then proceeds to say that the rumors are causing a strain on their marriage currently. And I'm just like, is it though? Because from the way y'all talk about the stuff on the show, everything is good. Like, there's no real issues in y'all relationship except the fact that Maursau won't finish y'all house so y'all can move in. Like, I'm really trying to see at what point, obviously because he's not wearing his wedding ring or anything, but like, at what point was you gonna say that? And let people know, oh, okay, so it is affecting y'all. I mean, duh, your mama has been putting this bug in your ear for the last, 10 years? When the show started, whatever. Your mama been doing this for the whole time. I'm sure Martell been saying slick stuff. It's not anybody's fault that your husband isn't clear in communication with you. So they agree to fake it till they make it. Nell is like, sometimes you got to meet a person halfway, so I feel like I should retract my statement of me saying that I thought that I was your mentor. Tisha is like, yeah, because I thought we was being friends. And this was the problem Nell had with Mel, where she was like, yeah, I'm your mentor, but Mel's like, I thought we were just having a girlfriend conversation. I didn't know there was going to be a fee charge at the end of it. Like, if that was the case, then this could have been set up whole differently, and I wouldn't have been thinking that I'm talking to my homegirl when the whole time my homegirl is expecting to give me advice of a mentor and not my homegirl. Then Nell is like, well, in all actuality, I am a real mentor. Like, I'm certified in this shit. Like, I don't just do this just to play around. Like, I really am a mentor. And Tisha's like, what? You got a certification? Then in the confessional, she goes to be shady and it's like, if Nell got a certification in being a mentor, then I must have a PhD. If you and your 3 ICDC masters want to go get a PhD, do that. Like, Nell probably got her mentor certificate from DeVry, so it don't really matter. Like, none of y'all are doing anything with the actual degrees y'all say y'all have, so it don't matter whether they certified or not. Like, you always want to be shady, and this is why nobody likes you, Tisha, because you always be trying to throw shade and throw rocks and then want to be like, well, I never really said anything, so I don't understand why you're upset with me. Whole time you're saying everything. You're just not saying it to them because you're scary. And then when people finally confront you, you have to go take 5 shots and then want to get loud and rowdy, and the conversation just never goes anywhere. So we get to Maurice and Kimmy Luther Scott King, and Martell is going to be sitting down with Maurice soon. And Kimmy is just like, what are you sitting down with Martell for? Like, what more can you possibly say to him? And Maurice is just like, well, Martell's always been a nice guy. You know, when he said you was a side chick and is constantly saying that my brother is cheating on his wife and waking people up with false prayers, being a false prophet, waking people up with prayers and things like that, helping out with the kids. Like, Martell is a really nice guy. Remember, Kimmy, when you were saying that Martell is a nice guy and that you have no problems with his mistress and that Mel is just overreacting and it's not really that big of a deal because Martell is a nice guy? Remember when you were saying Martell is a nice guy? But now Kimmy wants to say that Martell has always been this liar, this guy who puts false allegations on people, the man who's always trying to get after the women, and he's really just jealous of you guys because he cheated on his wife and he lost everything, but he feels like y'all cheating on y'all wives and y'all still get to come home to women that's cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids. So I don't see why you would think that Martell, it hasn't always been this guy. And Maurice is just like, well, I'm gonna sit down with him anyways because that's my friend. I don't want to stop being Martell's friend because he has legit stuff against me. You saw how he brought out the light-skinned girl. You heard about the linebackers. They matched. Linebackers and the light-skinned girl, they look like they on the same team. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down with my friend and be like, hey friend, if you're gonna say all this stuff, leave me out of it. I don't want to be in that because that beef you got with my brother has nothing to do with me. We're cool. Remember when we wanted to go to Vegas and I was the one who had you go to Vegas with us, but Kimmy didn't want you to go because you was in a tough situation with your ex-wife? Yeah, bro, you should look out for me. Like, I've been looking out for you. I've been keeping you getting camera time on the show because I'm really the only one that wants to sit down and film with you. Other than Destiny, nobody wants to film with you. So, if anything, Martell, you should be thinking that I'm doing you a solid because I'm the only one really keeping you on the show. Nobody wants the mistress on the show because the mistress allegedly has all this stuff about us and about our wives. Ain't nobody finna want her on the show. So the only way you gonna stay on this show is because of me and Destiny. And you got Destiny on lock because you clearly knocking her boots down. But me, you gonna have to prove to me that you gonna be loyal to me so I can be loyal to you and keep filming with you on the show. And so Kimmy's like, yeah, he might have been that guy, whatever, and y'all might have this type of fake loyalty to each other, but he still be throwing you under the bus, and that's not sitting well with me because I be catching strays. So you need to stop filming with him. He don't respect you at all. He sees you as an extension of your brother. He feels like you always going to defend your brother. You always going to take up for him. Remember when you was about to fight Martell? When Wanda was about to fight Melody? And they was about to go to blows? And then Martell and Maursau was about to fight? And so Maurice had jumped in, even though Lou had low-key already squashed it. And then Maurice came in, not really knowing what was going on because he was too busy inside the hair store with Wanda and Destiny talking mess about Mel's kids and the paternity of Mel's kids. So when Maurice came out, not knowing what was going on, he saw two men about to go to blows and decided, hey, they beating up my little brother. I need to go and stick up for him. Yeah, you do that, Maurice. You are going to do that because that's your brother. Season 1, Wanda was the one coming after Kimmy saying if Kimmy gonna be in the Scott family, and Wanda's not even a Scott, Kimmy's gonna have to be with the Scotts. Remember, it was either you with the Scotts or you with the Holts.
Being shaded. All over there. Being shaded.
You're saying you're being shady?
No, y'all are.
Oh, how are we being shady?
Kimmy.
No, I mean,
We're
I'm
a
going
team and
too,
going together,
right?
so how are we
So
being
both of
shady?
you are.
Both of y'all
Okay, so
are.
how are we being shady?
Are you a true Scott? Or are you down with the host?
Hey,
Zip it.
Hey, Wanda,
I feel like it's being very shady.
Anyways, we get to Tisha and Maursau. Tisha's in the kitchen with the oldest daughter and they're doing hair with the products that they supposed to be selling. Tisha starts to tell the baby girl that because she's 13 now and can legally get her own social media, she needs to get a social media so she can market their products. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's kind of irresponsible to try to put so much responsibility of marketing a whole company on a child when they were probably more so hands-off in all of that. And they probably don't really know what marketing is except sharing pictures and stuff. But you can't sit here and be like, okay, when you go and open your social media today, you're going to get 30,000 followers from my followers. and that way you'll be able to post all of the stuff with the hair company on your page, and I can take a step back in doing that. While that's admirable, it's not going to happen overnight. Like, you can't just sit here and try to force that on her, because you're not forcing it on the baby girl. And mind you, the baby girl is still a little kid, so she can't even get a social media. Mom is gonna have to get a social media for the child so they can market the products on her account. But it's still going to be mom doing most of the work. Like, it's still mom paying the people to make the images so the children can post on their pages. So I'm just like, if you want them to post it on their social media, that's fine. But you can't sit here and say, because you're 13 now, you need to get a job because we're gonna stop giving you money. Like, Maursau comes in and says, oh yeah, you getting older, it's time to get some responsibility. Y'all ain't tell that boy that. Did y'all tell that boy, you need to get you a company so you can start making some money so we don't gotta give you no money? So don't tell that girl that. Like, y'all way off. Y'all way off when it comes to that. Like, she's 13. And you saying, make your own money. How? How does she know how to do that? Did y'all teach her how to do that? Like, is she fully capable to do that on her own without y'all having any type of input? Because I don't think so. If she was, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now, because y'all would have been like, we've been teaching our kids how to be business owners and create marketing strategies that can help them in their business plan and things like that. It was never given that from y'all. So what makes you think she's gonna be able to just overnight be successful on social media, so y'all gotta stop giving her money? Because I'm trying to figure out what company y'all forced on the son so he could do that. Then the daughter catches that shade and decides to shade Maursau bald-headed ass. They have a cute little confessional, and then she leaves. They get into the fact that they want to have better friends for the child, and that's how you know that's why the little girl was like, her mom is her favorite person or her favorite parent, because she know more about her than Maursau does. Maursau over here talking about I just want her to have some good friends in her life. Tisha's like, she has good friends in her life. What is you talking about? They a good group of girls. The only girl in this family that don't have no friends is me. Like, I don't have no friends. The only friends I got is my sister-in-law and Destiny. And Marsau's like, Destiny? So they get into the stuff with Nell and Tisha and how they had sat down the other day for coffee. Tisha rewrites the whole story. Like, Tisha is a liar. Or either she's a liar or she's delusional, because Tisha rewrote that whole scene of her and Nell sitting down, saying Nell was yelling at her, telling her that she ain't her child, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, Tisha, what do you be sitting thinking when you're talking to people? Your brain has to be like SpongeBob on the inside. Because what be going through your head when you be having these interactions with folks that you cannot remember accurate details of the situation? Like, you mentioned how Nell said that you had got in Chris's face. You want to call Nell a liar because you don't remember something. So your husband had to tell you, yes, Tisha, you did get in that man's face, because you always be in these men's faces, talking to them like you would talk to your husband, and you don't even get in my face like that. So if I'm your husband telling you you're doing too much, then you're doing too much. You cannot get mad, because these women also feel the same way. They talk about how Nell and Trish want Kimmy and Tisha to be more transparent. And Maursau is just like, I don't know why people keep saying they want us to be transparent. We've already told y'all that we're not finna talk about our situation. Like, we're not gonna talk about the fact that we almost got divorced. We're not gonna talk about the fact that I had stopped wearing my wedding ring for a period of time. We're not gonna talk about the fact that there's been several years of cheating allegations that nobody can truly prove. So because they can't truly prove it, it's false and it's lies. We're not finna talk about our stuff. So I don't know why people keep saying we're not being transparent when we was transparent telling y'all that we ain't talking about shit. And Tisha's like, to be honest, it's really just easier talking to my sister-in-law and Martell girlfriend Destiny, because we done all known each other for so long. Maursau is like, you need to watch the company you keep, because Destiny is a snake in the grass. Tisha looking like, what makes you say that? And Maursau is like, Tisha, Destiny is still friends with Martell. She's actively meeting up with Martell, letting him bash us, and she be over there kikiing and agreeing and taking up for him and being his yes man. So yeah, when it comes to that, you need to watch her, because anything you say about Martell, she's going to bring back to him, because she's done it. She did it with Mel. She'll do it with you.
Everybody knows Destiny is in love with Martell. She's going to always ride for Martell. It don't matter how long she's with him.
So we get to the real mentors, the Fletchers. And let me start this off by saying I done heard some stuff and I done seen some things. So shout out to those people giving you the real tea, and his dog Mellow for putting some perspective on the Fletchers. They talk about how Chris had met up with Lance and they conversation ended up going towards Destiny. And Nell is just like, I don't even know why this whole Lance and Destiny conversation is still being had, because at the reunion, Destiny said that they was just dating and it wasn't nothing serious, so she don't know why Destiny is so pressed over Lance. Allegedly, Destiny ain't never gave him none, so she don't understand why this is still even a thing. Like, what are you pressed over? Which is weird, because I could have sworn last season they very much insinuated that they were having sex. I could have sworn that was the real thing. Like, at the little field day thing, I could have sworn they were implying that they had been having sex. So, somebody lying here. I don't know. Nell goes to say Lance has needs, and my mama always used to tell me, if you don't give somebody something, somebody else will. Which is funny, because the stuff I didn't heard about the Fletchers, and mind you, this is the same mama that she had said Mel used to pull her away from, who was on her deathbed, because Mel had to vent to Nell about Martell, and Nell decided to leave her dying mother's bedside to go and talk to her friend and mentor, but the friend don't know she's being mentored. The friend just venting. The friend said that she ain't never do a such thing. So I was like, that whole thing last season was weird, because I'm just like, that don't sound right. Because why would you leave your dying mother's bedside to talk to your friend? Like, I understand why you would, because, like, you can't always be there. But if you really feel some type of way and not wanting to not be there, then you will be like, hey, friend, now's not the time. You know, I'm dealing with a lot right now. Maybe we can talk at another date or time. Why would you just up and leave your dying mom if it was that big of a thing that you are up and leaving your dying mom? Because if you're saying that you're doing that for your friend, then you cannot sit here and be like, I'm your mentor. If you're doing that as a mentor, you should have been like, hey, I can't right now because I'm with my dying mom. Anyways, that was last season. But Nell is just saying that Lance don't owe Destiny nothing. I told Lance he don't owe Destiny nothing because Destiny already said that her and Lance ain't serious. And they ain't having sex. So Lance don't owe her nothing. Chris said maybe he should have a conversation and they business just be their business. And we stay out of it because we got our own shit going on. Nell starts talking to Chris about how she had brunch with no food with Tisha, and how Tisha got in her feelings and then left, then came back and was like, I just don't like people talking about my relationship because everybody always coming for my marriage and my marriage is always being attacked. Chris is like, well, how is their marriage always being attacked? And Nell's like, well, Tisha said
the NBA stuff, the Atlanta stuff, the linebackers, and the Vegas, and the conversation with Martell, the light-skinned girl, and the mistress.
So much stuff that people are always saying. So Tisha's just like, people are attacking her marriage, and she feels some type of way about it. Nell is saying that Tisha's basically like, nobody's coming to her with no real proof of her husband cheating. So she's not going to believe any of these rumors because at the end of the day, that's all they are because ain't no evidence. Whatever. Like, if that's how she want to go about it, Tisha, then fine. Like, nobody, we still gonna say that your man cheating because it's just so much that it just gives that. I'm sorry, it just gives that. And if they was hanging out with Martell at one point when he was cheating, no man who values marriage and love and family is going to be around a man and his paramour. Like, that just doesn't make sense for a loyal family man to be around a cheater and his paramour at the same time. Like, they're on double dates. And if you wasn't on those dates, somebody was. Was it Maurice? Why is Maurice and Maursau hanging out with Martell and his paramour? Like, people are going to assume that he cheating. Men all the time say birds of a feather flock together. So why wouldn't we assume that all them hoes hang together? Nell's just like, she going to back off because at the end of the day, that's their marriage. And if they got understanding, then what's understood don't got to be explained. Chris jokes and say, is you gonna mentor her so you ain't gonna mentor her no more? And she like, no, I ain't mentoring nobody in this group because don't nobody want to take me serious as a mentor after I didn't acknowledge that I done been their mentor, even though we was just having girlfriend kikis. We get to Martell and Maurice, and this whole conversation was really a key. Like, the fact that Martell is still on the show in these tight ass clothes is enough to make anybody not want to watch the show anymore. But yet, like, it's really just content now for content creators. Maurice is trying to sit down with Martell because he feels some type of way about that interview. Like, Maurice feels slighted because, you know, him and Kimmy is all about people disparaging their character. And if you say anything that's going to disparage their character, they feel like they're going to have to check you because they are Martin Luther King's Coretta Scott. Like, y'all is not finna just do that to them. Maurice sits down with Martell and immediately is like, how are you doing? Because you look like you ain't been doing well. Martell says, I've been doing better than well. Like, what is you even talking about? Maurice is like, no, because you've been crashing out on the internet. Internet crash outs aren't doing well. So what's really going on? Martell is confused. What are you talking about? I'm not crashing out on the internet. I'm delivering what was due. Like, what is you saying? So the lawyer tells the narcissist, I think for so long you've been playing the villain that you've become the villain, and I'm getting concerned. You were a great guy at one point, and now you're not because you're saying all these lies about me and my brother, and I don't like that. Like, you can say whatever you want about your ex-wife, but you can't talk about me and my brother. Like, that's making us feel some type of way. Maurice is basically trying to figure out the origin of the Joker and why he is the way he is and why is he crashing out on the internet. And Martell's like,
anger. There's plenty of anger right now. How can you have more? You don't think it'll exacerbate the problem? David, I mean, I know you're a sophisticated guy. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. Well, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place. All of this has happened. We went into Iraq. We shouldn't have gone into Iraq. We shouldn't have gotten out the way we got out. The world is a total mess.
Because Tisha and Maursau keep saying all these things about me. Tisha was saying I like boys on Carlos King's podcast. So I don't want anybody to think that I like boys, and Tisha trying to be like, I stand on that because everybody know that. If they gonna lie on me, why can't I tell truths about them? Martell is like, the only reason why he even did it is because they never called him and apologized to him after Tisha went on that podcast and said that Martell likes boys. I don't believe that because that junk was ready. Like, that looked like y'all did that before the reunion on some shit. It wasn't giving, she did the live, you was like, oh, let me call this girl, record it, and then say, we recorded this interview. If y'all don't apologize to me, I'm gonna post it. You did that interview before the reunion. Like, you did that before the reunion because that junk was already done. Like, as soon as she said that, like, the next week, y'all had did that. But you was waiting for an apology that you didn't even say nothing about. You said something about an apology after you posted that you was gonna post the video. How people know that you wanted an apology back then? Did you call them and say, hey, what the fuck? No, you didn't. So what is you talking about? Like, you just be wanting to expose these people, and you said that junk last season that you're exposing everybody and nobody's safe. So yeah, you had planned on doing that junk way before Tisha had went on that podcast. Like, you full of it when it come to that. Then Martell is like, and the reason why I got smoked for you, Maurice, and why you got to get this 2-piece is because remember when you tried to fight me a couple seasons ago? Nah, but because you had made a look at me at the reunion because I didn't know whether I pled guilty or not. Don't nobody believe that. Because he made a look. Maurice is smart enough to say, and no, at the time, I didn't talk about my active court case because that's stupid. Why would I talk about an active court case during the ongoing investigation. Like, that doesn't make sense. That's going to make me look even worse because it's not really gonna help. All we doing is talking about it. That's just us talking about it and being gossipy. That's not me trying to lay out evidence and plead my case on camera or to a jury of my peers. Like, shut up. Everybody was looking at you like, shut up. Everybody on social media was like, Martell need to shut up right now because you just make yourself look stupider and stupider. Are you gonna try to expose all the fans who's like, Martell shouldn't have said that? Because you didn't even know what you were talking about. You saying it now. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I just want to say stuff because I want to make myself look good. It doesn't. It doesn't make you look good. Like, Maurice, a lawyer, kinda, is telling you it's best to just not say nothing. Didn't your lawyers tell you that? And Martell's like, well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I have to listen to them because I got to make myself look better because I want my mistress on the show. Because I'm tired of paying my mistress, and if she gets on this show, that means I don't have to pay for her nursing school anymore, and she can pay for her nursing school and start paying me rent to live in my investment property so I can be paying for a whole nother mistress. Well, I guess you can't be a mistress to a mistress, you be a side chick. So that's what makes them get into Maurice's whole DUI timeline, and nothing Maurice said made him look any better. Like, just because you can talk about it now because the case is dismissed does not mean you should have. Because all of this just make it sound like you was drunk and driving and Kimmy wasn't there. He was like, we was together at Black and then Kimmy drove me back to Credit One because we worked together because she don't want me to be working at Credit One alone when the rumors were that me, Cedric, you, Maursau, LB, and all them was knocking girls down at the Credit One. So Kimmy had to move into Credit One. She's not finna just work from home anymore. Like, she moved in. So we went there. He was like, then I got my car and I went to go see Cedric and LB. And this is the thing those Scott brothers love to do. When there's ever cheating allegations out about them, they gonna always say, no, I was with one of our friends, remember? But these are also the friends that y'all be seeing be cheating on their wives. So if all these folks are allegedly cheating on their wives when it comes to who's the cheaters in the group, but none of y'all are cheaters, but there's actual evidence that some of y'all do be cheating, why are we supposed to believe that you're not with these folks cheating? Like, you could have went with them and been out with them cheating. Like, or you could have went and met up with them and had you another drink or two and left and drove drunk. Because he was like, he hit an animal, a tree, and a pole.
Oh, Henny, stop.
Martell busts out laughing. He gets pissed off. Have you ever hit an animal? You have. And yet you proceeded to keep going and hit a tree and a pole, according to you. Allegedly. Hitting an animal, a tree, and a pole don't sound like you was driving sober. It sounds like you was on something.
But I can't. What's wrong with the Bob? Something.
Sound like you was on something. Because as serious as you was trying to make you hitting an animal, to me that would have been like, okay, let me pull up and pull over because first of all, I'm in a Lambo and I need to check out my car and see if my car's straight because the animal ran off. So I need to check on my Lambo and see how my car doing. But you didn't. You kept going to then proceed to hit a tree and a pole.
I might swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweaking this bitch, start letting shit go.
If you would have hit the animal and you would have swerved and then you would have swerved again and hit the tree and the pole and it just all happened at one time, that makes sense. That is believable. But the story you're creating, especially as a lawyer, the narrative you're trying to create doesn't make sense at all. It sounds like you were drunk, you hit one thing, you hit another thing, and then you hit that final thing that made you stop. It don't sound like you was, oh, I'm concerned and I swerved, because you never said that. You never said I swerved and then I swerved into something else and I hit all these things at one time. You made it seem like you, boom, boom, boom. But them booms was 5 minutes apart. Like, your story not making sense. And I don't blame Martell for laughing because at this point, Maurice is like, well, the case was dismissed anyway, so it don't even matter because all of that evidence. That evidence sound like you was drunk. The only evidence that wasn't there to help get that case dismissed was allegedly you didn't take the breathalyzer. And you have the right to refuse that, but as a lawyer, you know that. So as a lawyer, you knew, okay, I'm drunk, but I'm not going to take this breathalyzer because that can be used as evidence against me and I could possibly get disbarred. Maurice is like, y'all was joking about that car accident and that jump wasn't funny because I got a whole concussion from that I didn't tell nobody about. Like, that jump was serious. Y'all not taking it serious. Y'all trying to disparage my character. Just your ex-wife was trying to disparage my character with lipstick, and I got a whole concussion because I was drinking and driving and hit an animal, a tree, and a pole. And then now here come you saying that I was over here knocking down this big old thing, knocking down this light-skinned girl, and that's disparaging my character again. Like, you keep saying all these lies about me, and I don't like that. That's starting to make me feel some type of way. If you're gonna lie on my brother, fine, but you can't lie on me. So Martell's like, well, what did I lie about? And Maurice is like, you lied on everything. You lied about, well, most of it was lies, because I watched the whole thing, and most of it was lies. A couple of them could have been truths, like Maursau flying her out and sleeping with her, but I wasn't sleeping with her. And those lies was, you ain't sleep with her because I was in the casino gambling. I ain't see you in the casino gambling. That I was down there and you was up there with my brother knocking that girl down. So you telling lies. I watched the whole thing. I watched it with Kimmy. She might have said that she ain't watch it, but she watched it with me because I had to tell her, no, babe, that's a lie. No, babe, that's a lie. No, babe, that's a lie. Because it's disparaging my character. Y'all not finna keep sitting here disparaging my character. Then he tries to be a lawyer and it's like, well, what did my dick look like? What was the colors of the walls? What did the room look like? Arbitrary. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. Badgering, Your Honor. Like, irrelevant, Your Honor. That don't matter. It don't matter what your dick looked like if the lights was off. Nobody really cares about what the room looked like for real. Like, that don't matter. Did you or did you not sleep with her, Martell? Because we all know Maursau and Maurice was getting to it, but we also know Martell was too, because the way Ariane was doing the girl, the way the mistress was doing the light-skinned girl in the video. So, yeah, we know all three of y'all done slept with that girl, allegedly. But you over here sitting asking what my dick looked like, what the room looked like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is, why did y'all pick that girl? Because I'm sure there were better looking girls than that one. But what really pissed me off was the fact that when Maurice was asking Martell, laughing at his case and that he could have died because he was drinking and driving, is funny. Is his whole domestic violence case funny? And Martell's like, yeah, it's funny. It's a joke to me because as an abuser, abuse is funny. And being able to get off because I got connections is funny because I feel like she wasted her time and her money and I'm still going to be able to get what I want. So I'm going to laugh because I'm an asshole. I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, I'm going to laugh. Like, I think domestic violence is funny, and so I'm going to laugh it off even though I admitted to doing it because I pled guilty. So it's the last scene, and Kimmy and Maurice are sitting down with Maursau, and Maurice is basically telling him everything that didn't happen when he had sat down with Martell or whatever. And Maurice is like, honestly, I'm concerned for his mental health. And Maursau's like, fuck him and his mental health. That nigga not crazy. He's a fucking liar. And Kimmy is like, that's what I was trying to tell Maurice, but Maurice wants to keep bringing him around. So maybe you could talk some sense into him. Maursau is like, I don't give a fuck about no shit that Martell got going on. Like, he lied on me and he gonna continue to try to lie on me. And if I could just play that off like it ain't no real shit, then I just ain't finna fuck with him no more. Like, he a liar and I don't wanna fuck with a liar because he do what liars do. Maurice is like, I'm trying to figure out why you even put me in the video. And he said that Martell was like, because you was making faces at me during the reunion, and you know anybody that does anything that I feel slighted against, I'm gonna attack them. I done said this for seasons now. Like, let's stop acting like I'm coming up with a new storyline every season. My storyline has always been I'm coming after people that say or do anything towards me. Like, he was finna fight whole Wanda because Wanda was saying that the baby wasn't his. Like, Martell's gonna do that. And Maurice is like, so did you pay her? Did you solicit her? And because Martell said no, Maurice telling Maursau, I don't believe that. Then he gonna be like, and I even asked him what my dick looked like, and he couldn't explain that. Why is y'all expecting men to be looking at each other's dicks during threesomes? Last time I checked, men don't be looking at each other's dicks because they be like, that's gay. Like, why is Maursau trying to kiki in the confessional saying, well, if you in a room with another man having sex, you got to be looking at something. If it's a straight man, I would assume he's looking at the woman, right? Not the man. But here y'all go again insinuating that Martell is gay and he like boys. And so here we will go again. Here we will go again with Martell going after y'all because y'all over here trying to imply that he was looking at y'all dicks. Like, then Maurice tries to turn into Marshall Erickson from How I Met Your Mother, saying I lawyered him because I was asking him all these type of questions like he was a witness. First of all, Maurice, all them questions you was asking would have been thrown out in court because that shit wasn't like, that was some stupid ass questions you was asking. What my dick looked like, what the room looked like. Don't nobody give a fuck. Did you fuck her or not? Like, you sitting here trying to go back and forth on schematics, and if I saw you put your dick in her, I don't need to know what it looked like. I don't have to have vivid reimaginings of what he said. I have a particular look. My dick got a particular look. Is that the look that Destiny, the hook and the curve that Destiny was talking about, that Mel was talking about riding on or whatever, sucking on in the limo last season? Like, why? This how they wives keep getting caught up in that, oh, my husband not cheating because they ain't coming with proof. Because they over here saying, Kimmy, you know my dick look a certain way. That ain't my dick. That dick straight. My dick point a little bit. Like, what? So now we got to go off what y'all dicks look like? Like, for real? I'm over these people, but luckily the episode is over. So I don't even have to keep talking about it. Let me know what you guys think about the video in the comments. We'll chat about whether we feel like we need to know what Maurice's dick looked like. Did they really knock down the linebacker in Vegas? How y'all feel about Tisha and Nell allegedly trying to build a friendship? I don't see it for them. We ain't had no Trish and Ken in this episode. I kind of didn't miss them. I just literally thought about that they wasn't in the episode until we had saw them in next week's preview. So we'll see what they hitting on next week. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully they get limited amount of screen time because don't nobody like them. Let me know if you think Lance owes Destiny a conversation and how that conversation will go. What else happened in the episode? It don't matter. But I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with everybody that you know. Turn that notification bell on so you won't miss any time I upload. See ya.